everyone, and welcome back to Easy Talk English. Before we begin, take a slow breath with me. Wherever you are right now, maybe at home, on a bus, or walking outside, I'm really happy you're here with us.
Yes, truly. And let me ask you something simple. How are you feeling right now? Calm? Tired? Maybe a little stressed?
Today's episode is for anyone who feels nervous when speaking English, especially when someone suddenly looks at you and says 5 simple words. Tell me about yourself.
Oh, yes. The moment I hear that sentence, something strange happens. Even if I know English, even if I practiced before, my brain just stops.
It's like all the words disappear at the same time.
Exactly. And I start thinking, where do I begin? What do they want to hear? Should I sound smart? Should I speak long? And the more I think, the more confused I feel.
And here's something very important. The problem is not vocabulary. Most learners already know enough words to answer this question.
The real problem is pressure. When someone says, "Tell me about yourself," it feels like a test.
Yes, it feels serious. It feels like you must impress the other person. And suddenly, your simple English feels too simple.
But here's the truth. This question is usually not a test. It's just a conversation starter.
It's a way to begin talking. It's a way to know who you are. Not your whole life story. Not your perfect grammar. Just you.
Almost every English learner feels this fear. Beginners feel it, intermediate learners feel it, even confident speakers sometimes feel it in job interviews.
So if your mind goes blank when you hear that question, you are not weak. You are normal.
And today, we're going to change that feeling.
We're not going to study big grammar rules. We're not going to memorize long paragraphs.
Instead, we will give you a very simple 4-step framework, a small structure you can remember easily.
4 small parts: clear, natural, flexible. You can use it in class, in interviews, or when meeting someone new.
By the end of this episode, you won't feel frozen anymore. You'll know where to start and how to continue.
So stay with us, relax your shoulders, and let's make this question feel easy.
Because speaking about yourself should not feel scary. It should feel human.
All right, let's build your simple map. When someone says, "Tell me about yourself," you don't need a long story. You only need 3 basic parts: your name, where you're from, and what you do.
That's it. 3 small steps: name, place, and what you do. If you remember only this, you will never feel completely lost again.
Let's start with the most basic A1 version. Very simple, very clear. For example, "Hi, I'm Linda. I'm from Canada. I'm a teacher." That is already a complete answer.
Yes, and notice something important. That answer is short, but it is strong. You didn't try to impress anyone. You just shared clear information.
Now let's gently move to an A2 version. We don't change everything, we just add one small detail. For example, "Hi, I'm Linda. I'm from Canada, and I work as an English teacher."
See how we only added "and I work as"? That small connector makes the introduction flow more naturally.
Now let's try a B1 version. Still simple, still natural. "Hi, I'm Linda. I'm from Canada, and I work as an English teacher. I really enjoy helping people feel more confident."
That last sentence shows personality. It tells people something about your motivation, not just your job.
And that's the key difference between A1 and B1. It's not about difficult grammar, it's about adding one meaningful idea.
Let me try my own example. A1 version. "Hi, I'm Alex. I'm from the UK. I work in an office." Clear and complete.
Now give us the A2 version.
"Hi, I'm Alex. I'm from the UK, and I work in an office." Just one small connection.
And the B1 version?
"Hi, I'm Alex. I'm from the UK, and I work in an office. At the moment, I'm working on a new project." That sounds more detailed, but still easy.
Exactly. You didn't use difficult vocabulary, you didn't use long sentences, you just added one extra piece of information.
And here's something very important. You do not need to tell your whole life story.
Yes, many learners think this question means please explain everything about your childhood, your dreams, your problems, your plans. But in real life, people only want a starting point. If they are interested, they will ask more questions.
So your job is not to say everything. Your job is to say enough.
Clarity is more important than complexity. A clear, simple introduction sounds more confident than a long, confusing one.
Let's say that again because it matters. Clarity is more important than complexity.
If you say, I'm Maria, I'm from Brazil, I'm a student, people understand you immediately. But if you try to say something very long and you forget words in the middle, your confidence drops.
So remember this structure. Name, place, what you do. That is your safe base.
From there, you can grow slowly. Add one sentence if you feel comfortable. Stop when you feel enough.
And most importantly, breathe. This is a conversation, not a performance.
You already have everything you need to answer this question. You just needed a simple map.
And now you have one.
So now you have your simple introduction. But here is the moment where many learners panic. After you finish speaking, the other person smiles and asks another question.
Yes, that follow-up question can feel even scarier than the first one. You think, oh no, now what?
Let's look at the most common follow-up questions. These are very normal in conversations. For example, what do you study? What do you do? Where do you live now?
The good news is this: the answers can still be simple. You don't need long explanations.
Let's take the first one. What do you study? An easy A1 answer is, I study business. That's enough.
If you want to sound a little more natural at A2 level, you can say, I study business, and I really like marketing.
See how we just added, and I really like? That small connector makes your sentence warmer.
Now let's try B1 level. I study business, and I'm especially interested in marketing because I enjoy creative work. Still simple vocabulary, but more complete.
Now let's look at another common question. What do you do? Many learners feel confused here.
Yes, they sometimes think it means, what are you doing right now? But usually it means your job or your daily role.
So an easy answer could be, I work in a small company. That's clear and natural.
You can gently expand it. I work in a small company and I help customers.
Or you can add a time phrase like, at the moment, I'm working as a nurse. That phrase, at the moment, sounds natural and gives you time to think.
Now let's talk about where do you live now? This is very common when you say where you're from.
A simple answer is, I live in Berlin. That's enough.
You can expand slowly. I live in Berlin, but I'm originally from Spain.
Notice something important here. We are expanding slowly. We are not exploding information.
That's a great word. Don't explode information. Many learners try to say everything in one long sentence.
And when they try to say too much, they forget words and lose confidence.
Instead, think like this. One idea at a time. Short sentence, small connector. Stop. Breathe.
Let's practice a small mini dialogue together so you can hear how natural this sounds.
Okay, I'll start. Hi, I'm Alex. I'm from the UK and I work in IT.
Nice to meet you, Alex. What do you do exactly?
I work in IT and I mainly help with technical problems. At the moment, I'm working on a small project.
That sounds interesting. Where do you live now?
I live in London, but I'm thinking about moving next year.
Did you notice something? None of those answers were complicated. They were short, clear, and connected.
And that's the secret. When you expand slowly, you stay in control.
You don't need perfect English. You just need one idea, then another.
So, next time someone asks you a follow-up question, remember this. Short answer first, add one small detail, stop there.
Conversations grow step by step, and you are allowed to grow with them. Now I want to talk about something that many learners don't realize. You can know the structure, you can know the words, but if your introduction sounds memorized, people can feel it immediately. It starts to sound like you are reading from a script inside your head instead of having a real conversation.
Yes, and I've actually experienced that myself. I once memorized a long self-introduction for a class presentation, and I practiced it again and again at home. But when I forgot just one small word, my mind went blank and I couldn't continue naturally.
That's such a common experience. The problem wasn't your English level, it was the pressure of remembering every sentence perfectly. When we depend too much on memorization, we stop thinking about meaning and we start worrying about memory.
Exactly. And conversations are not exams. In real life, nobody expects you to speak like a prepared speech. They expect you to speak like a human being, even if your sentences are simple.
So let's talk about how to sound natural instead of memorized. The first thing is tone and pace. When learners feel nervous, they often speak too fast, and that makes them sound less confident.
I agree completely. When I'm nervous, I notice my voice becomes faster and slightly higher. But when I slow down, breathe, and speak clearly, even simple sentences sound much stronger.
And here's something very important. Please don't begin your introduction by saying, "Sorry, my English is bad." That sentence immediately lowers your confidence and changes the energy of the conversation.
Yes, and most people are not judging your grammar the way you think they are. They're listening to understand you, not to evaluate you. If you speak clearly and calmly, that already shows confidence.
Another big mistake is memorizing very long introductions. Some learners try to prepare 10 sentences because they want to be ready for everything. But when you try to say too much, you create pressure for yourself.
And when one sentence disappears from your memory, everything feels broken. Instead, it's much better to remember ideas, not exact sentences. Name, place, what you do, and maybe one extra detail. That's enough.
Yes, think of it as a flexible map, not a script. You can adjust your introduction depending on the situation, whether it's a class, a job interview, or a casual meeting. Flexibility makes you sound alive.
Let's also talk about mistakes, because they will happen. When I was learning English, I once said, "I am work in office," and I immediately realized it was wrong. But instead of stopping completely, I just said, "Sorry, I work in an office," and continued.
That is exactly the right way to handle mistakes. Fix it calmly and move forward. When you correct yourself naturally, it actually shows awareness and confidence.
I also remember when I was learning another language, I was so afraid of making mistakes that I spoke very little. But when I decided to focus on connection instead of perfection, everything changed.
That mindset is powerful. Natural speech is simple plus relaxed. It is not complicated plus stressed.
Yes, and when you speak slowly and clearly, even basic English sounds strong. People feel comfortable talking to you because you sound calm and present.
So remember this. Don't memorize long speeches, don't apologize for your English, and don't rush. Speak clearly, accept small mistakes, and keep the conversation moving.
Because at the end of the day, an introduction is not a performance. It's just the beginning of a real human connection.
Now, let's make this very practical, because introductions are not the same in every situation. The grammar can stay simple, but the tone changes depending on where you are. And when you understand the context, your confidence increases immediately.
Yes, that's very true. Many learners think they need different grammar for different situations, but actually, the structure is almost the same. What changes is how formal or relaxed you sound.
Let's start with a classroom introduction, because this is very common. In an English class, you don't need to sound professional or impressive. You can say something like, "Hi, I'm Daniel. I'm from Brazil, and I'm here to improve my English." That's clear, honest, and completely enough.
And if you want to add one small detail, you can say, "I'm learning English because I want to travel." Notice how simple that is. You're not giving a life story, just one reason that makes your introduction feel personal.
Now let's move to a job interview, which feels more serious for many people. Here, you keep the same basic structure, but your focus changes slightly. For example, "Hello, I'm Sarah. I'm from Spain and I have experience in customer service." It's still simple English, but it highlights your professional side.
Yes, and you can add one more sentence like, "I enjoy working with people and solving problems." That shows attitude, not just information. In job interviews, people care about your personality as much as your skills.
Now imagine a casual party or meeting friends of friends. This is much more relaxed. You might say, "Hey, I'm Leo. I'm a friend of Mark. Nice to meet you." That's natural and friendly, and you don't need anything more unless someone asks.
Exactly. And if the conversation continues, you can add something simple like, I work in IT and I really like technology. That feels human, not formal. In casual situations, warmth matters more than details.
Finally, let's talk about online meetings, because this is very common today. In a Zoom meeting, you can say, "Hi everyone, I'm Julia. I'm joining from Germany and I work in marketing." Clear, short, and appropriate for a professional setting.
And you can end with something friendly like, I'm happy to be here today. That small sentence creates connection. Even in online spaces, tone makes a big difference.
So what's the big insight here? Context changes your tone, not your grammar complexity. You don't need more difficult English for different situations, just a slightly different focus.
Yes, the same simple structure works everywhere. You just adjust your energy and your emphasis. When you understand that, introductions stop feeling scary and start feeling manageable.
Now I want to give you something very practical, something you can start using today. If you really want to feel calm when someone says, "Tell me about yourself," you need preparation, but not memorization. You need flexible preparation.
I love that phrase, flexible preparation. It means you're ready, but you're not trapped inside one script. So here's the strategy. Build 3 versions of your introduction.
Yes, 3 simple versions. The first one is your short version, about 10 seconds. This is for quick situations, like meeting someone at a party or introducing yourself in a small group.
For example, hi, I'm Daniel. I'm from Italy and I work in a small restaurant. That's it. No pressure, no extra details, just the basics.
Exactly. Then you prepare a medium version, about 20 to 30 seconds. This one is useful for classrooms, networking events, or casual conversations, where people want to know a little more.
You could say, "Hi, I'm Daniel. I'm from Italy, and I work in a small restaurant near my home. At the moment, I'm trying to improve my English because I want to travel more." Notice how we just added 1 or 2 extra details.
Now comes the extended version, around 45 to 60 seconds. This is perfect for job interviews or more formal situations. It's still simple English, but it includes a bit more personality and direction.
For example, "Hi, I'm Daniel. I'm from Italy, and I work in a small restaurant where I manage customer service. I enjoy working with people and learning new skills. Recently, I've been focusing on improving my English because I want to grow professionally." That sounds confident, but not complicated.
Now let's talk about how to practice these versions. One powerful method is talking to yourself. It might feel strange at first, but it works.
Yes, I actually did this when I was preparing for interviews. I practiced in front of a mirror and also while walking alone. Repeating the introduction many times made it feel natural, not forced.
Another excellent method is recording yourself on your phone. When you listen back, you can notice your speed, your tone, and your pauses. You don't need to criticize yourself, just observe calmly.
And something important happens when you repeat your introduction many times. The fear becomes smaller. Your brain starts recognizing the sentences, and your body feels more relaxed.
That's the key insight today. Repetition builds calmness, not perfection, not fancy vocabulary, just calmness.
And when you feel calm, your English flows more naturally. So build your 3 versions, practice them regularly, and watch your confidence grow step by step.
Before we finish today, let's take a slow breath together and review what we learned. We said that "tell me about yourself" is not a test, it's just a conversation starter. And instead of feeling pressure, you now have a simple 4-step framework. Your name, where you're from, what you do, and maybe one small personal detail.
Yes, and that framework is flexible. You can use it in a classroom, at a job interview, at a party, or in an online meeting. The grammar doesn't need to change, only your tone and focus.
We also talked about something very important. Don't memorize long scripts. Speak clearly, slowly, and naturally. Simple English with confidence is always stronger than complicated English with fear.
And remember the strategy of building 3 versions of your introduction: short, medium, and extended. When you practice these regularly, your brain becomes calm instead of blank.
Now we want you to reflect for a moment. If someone asked you right now, tell me about yourself, how would you answer? What would your short version sound like today?
Take a minute after this episode and actually say it out loud. Then, if you feel brave, write your short introduction in the comments. Keep it simple. Name, place, what you do, and maybe one extra detail.
And if you ever felt nervous when hearing this question, just know you're not alone. Almost every English learner has felt that same fear at some point.
If today's episode helped you feel a little calmer and clearer, please give this video a like. It helps us know that these real-life speaking topics are useful for you.
And don't forget to subscribe to EasyTalk English if you want to keep practicing real-life speaking in a relaxed, friendly way. We're here to grow with you, step by step.
Your English doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be spoken. We'll see you in the next episode.